And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Tuesday, April 2nd. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylee Dedmon. New on News 12 Now, we now know the name of the man involved in a standoff in Ravia Sunday night. A shots fired call ends with the arrest of an armed man who barricaded himself inside of a home. Sheriff Gary Dodd says the man was drunk and shot at his neighbors, hitting at least one vehicle. He then ran inside and refused to come out. Deputies, with the help of the Love County Sheriff's Office, set up a perimeter and rescued 3 adults and 3 children who were also in the house. The barricaded man was arrested on a slew of charges, including assault and battery with a deadly weapon. His name hasn't been released. No one was injured in the incident. Costco launched an Ozempic prescription program today. The warehouse retailer is offering its U.S. customers a way to buy the drug. Ozempic was originally made for type 1 diabetics. However, a few months ago, they started to notice a shortage in the medication. Now, this was due to the growth of popularity Ozempic has seen as a weight loss drug. Weight loss is a market that Costco and its partner Sesame are hoping to cater to, addressing the 2 roadblocks in the way of getting the drug, the price and a prescription. They will offer a renewable 3-month program and includes a video consultation with a weight loss specialist. The drugs these specialists will prescribe include Ozempic and Wegovy, as well as oral weight loss medications. This $179 3-month plan does not include the medication, just easy access to a doctor who can prescribe it. The medication can cost $950 and $1,600 per month. Costco is not the only company trying to connect its customers with the drug. Weight Watchers and Lifetime are also offering a way to get a prescription. Families woke up Tuesday to devastation from severe weather stretching thousands of miles. In Oklahoma, a likely tornado flattened homes and knocked out power for thousands of people. And we're now just beginning to see the extent of the damage. In a total, 8 states saw violent winds, hail, and tornadoes from Texas all the way to Illinois, and the system is still on the move. Omar Villafranca is in Oklahoma with more.
In Barnsdall, parts of the small town are leveled, some homes ripped to shreds, roofs torn from structures, and a community plunged into darkness. Officials say a suspected tornado barreled through the town of just over 1,000 residents last night around 9 p.m., carving a path of damage that left almost nothing untouched. Cinderblock buildings were smashed by violent winds. Monday's severe weather outbreak had a far reach, from powerful winds in Illinois to hail the size of golf balls in Kansas. A bolt of lightning in North Texas is suspected of sparking this house fire in Plano.
Initial arriving crews found a heavy fire and smoke coming from the exterior of the structure. There were reports of a loud boom, a thunderstrike.
And in the Midwest,
when we heard the tornado warning, we went to the basement and we heard a lot of noise.
A violent storm brought tree limbs bursting through Andrea Kaczynski's kitchen ceiling in Chesterfield, Missouri. Heavy rain caused flash flooding near St. Louis, where about 1.5 inches of rain fell in the span of 4 hours.
Wow, the whole street's flooded. That's a first.
Power is still out for hundreds of residents here, but the severe weather is not over. More than 50 million Americans are under the threat of severe storms today. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Barnsdall, Oklahoma.
It is definitely feeling a little more like winter out there than early April, believe it or not. Latest cold front rolled through early this morning behind the system that brought us showers and thunderstorms last night. And yeah, it is a shock to the system, to say the least. Temperatures running mostly 20 degrees, even more in some spots, colder than this time yesterday. So that means that it is going to remain chilly this afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s with likely more clouds and sunshine here, and it's going to be cool through the overnight as well. But the good news is this little cool down does not stick around for very long. A nice week is actually on the way for the remainder. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. We do have a storm chance on Saturday night to talk about here, and of course your eclipse forecast, which may not involve a lot of sunshine. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Until then, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. Well, the Israeli military said today that an independent professional organization would investigate the deaths of 7 people working for the World Central Kitchen, also known as WCK in Gaza, which the NGO said was the result of an Israeli airstrike. Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said the incident would be investigated in the fact-finding and assessment mechanism, which his statement called an independent professional and expert body, without giving details. The killed workers were traveling in 2 armored cars when the convoy was hit on Monday as it was leaving a warehouse after unloading more than 100 tons of humanitarian food aid brought to Gaza by sea, WCK said. Former U.S. President Donald Trump posted a $175 million bond in his New York civil fraud case on Monday, avoiding asset seizures by state authorities that could have crippled the former U.S. president's business empire. The former president was found liable on February 16th for fraudulently inflating his net worth by billions of dollars to secure better loan and insurance terms. Trump was originally required to post a $454 million bond, but an appeals court last Monday stayed enforcement of Judge Arthur Engron's ruling on the condition that Trump paid the lesser amount within 10 days. The appellate court's decision to reduce the bail is not an indication of how the panel will ultimately rule. Trump has denied wrongdoing. For just the second time ever in the U.S., a human has contracted bird flu. Texas health officials say the person had direct exposure to cows that presumably had the virus. A recent outbreak among dairy cows has spread to at least 4 states, with a 5th state reporting a possible case.
This person has a very mild case, just conjunctivitis, which is pink eye. And that's important to emphasize because it's not in the lungs. It's not pneumonia, which would make it easier to transmit from person to person.
While the risk to the general public is low, people in contact with infected animals and those living with an infected person need to be concerned. Infected cows are being isolated, their milk disposed of, and officials say there is no risk to the meat supply because they wait for the animal to recover. One person has died in a house fire in Oklahoma City. According to first responders, the fire was intentionally started while the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office was serving an eviction notice to a suspect in the home. According to the Sheriff's Office, deputies were able to remove an elderly woman from the home.
We do know there's an older guy that stays there, and so, you know, to see smoke coming out the house was kind of surprising.
The fire started in the home near Hefner and Rockwell Monday afternoon. Oklahoma County Sheriff's deputies were serving an eviction notice when a resident doused the floor with gasoline. One of the deputies tackled the man to try to stop him.
Once they got down, she was on top. The individual was able to get one hand free, taking the lighter that was in that hand, sparking it, and lighting the floor on fire.
The deputy had to rescue a disabled elderly woman from the home before it became engulfed in smoke and flames. Neighbors watched as fire crews put out the fire, later learning the man and possibly a dog didn't survive.
It just sounds so sad, and really we were just talking with a couple of other people down the street of how we really just need to be checking in on our neighbors more. Exactly. and really making sure that people know that they're not alone.
Sheriff Johnston says the rescued woman was not hurt and the deputies were not injured. He says it's just another reminder of how a law officer's job can be unpredictable.
Evictions are extremely dangerous. It's a very emotional situation when you're walking in and you're talking about evicting someone out of their home.
Well, getting student aid has potentially hit a new roadblock for some college-bound kids. The Department of Education says some colleges may have received incorrect tax data about some families' finances. The agency says its initial inquiry shows fewer than 20%, or roughly 1 million free applications for federal student aid, also known as FAFSA, are affected. The FAFSA forms have undergone changes and slow rollouts. Problems such as calculation errors could affect financial aid to several hundreds of thousands of students. FAFSA information helps determine Pell Grants, loans, and some scholarships. Well, dribbling on over to women's college basketball, the women's Final Four is set after a spectacular show by the college game's biggest star. Caitlin Clark led Iowa over defending champion LSU in a rematch of last year's final. As Jan Crawford reports, the Hawkeyes joined South Carolina, North Carolina State, and Connecticut in the Final Four.
She has more size and length. Clark, you bet!
For anyone who questioned her greatness.
Clark was trying to redirect a pass. Clark, oh my! From Schenectady!
Caitlin Clark had the answer.
Clark wheels around, evades Van Lith, and drains it!
41 points, 9 threes, 12 assists.
Clark! She's possessed!
A record-breaking masterpiece that lived up to the hype of a rematch in an epic battle of greats.
Reese flips it up and in. She is unstoppable tonight.
Clark and LSU superstar Angel Reese traded blows.
Pulls up, another deep one. Is good! She's simply ridiculous.
Before Clark's Hawkeyes took over.
This time, it's Iowa!
It was payback over last year's champion LSU, and Coach Kim Mulkey gave full credit.
She's just a generational player, and she just makes everybody around her better. That's what the great ones do.
A lot of people counted us out at the beginning of the year with the people we lost, and all we did was work really hard, and, the job's not finished.
Oh, Beckers jumps the passing lane. Paige Beckers scoops it up and in.
Even after game one, the stars kept shining.
Beckers for three. Got it!
UConn's Paige Beckers stole the show with 28 points over Juju Watkins and top-seeded USC.
And UConn knocks out a #1 seed to head back to the Final Four.
An incredible journey for the injury-depleted Huskies.
We're not even supposed to be here, and here we are, a godly miracle. And I'm just so proud. I can't even put it into words.
Jan Crawford, CBS News, Washington.
Well, that's all for this afternoon's News 12 Now. Be sure to tune into News 12 at 5, 6, and 10 tonight for a complete wrap of what happened today in Texoma and beyond. Thanks for watching and have a terrific Tuesday.